What's going on, y'all? Stoker Race Repair, and in today's video we're going to be going over my 2012 Ford Raptor right here. Let's see if I can focus. I picked this thing up about a month and a half ago, and I've always been a Chevy guy and like Ram guy, but I never really cared for Fords. But I love these Raptors. They're so nice, and just kind of want to give you my thoughts on it so far with owning it and whatnot, and I'll go over the good, the bad, and everything in between. So let's get started. So my love for these trucks started when I was a little kid, playing Forza Horizon 1. There was an orange one in it that you could play. It wasn't a crew cab, it was an extended cab one, but or whatever the Ford people call it. But me and my brother used to play Horizon 1 all the time. We drive them around, and it's kind of a nostalgia feel for me for driving this truck for the first time. So I knew I wanted it once I started driving it, but I had to convince myself a little bit because it was a Ford. But so far it's been pretty good. I've had a couple issues that I'll get into in a little bit, but I just kind of want to show you guys what all this truck has to offer. So the first issue that I had with it, which isn't really an issue, was these corner lights here. They were burnt out, so my running lights for like grill didn't work because the fuse was popped for it. So I ordered these off of Amazon. I think they were 30 bucks for the front two corners. And if you come around to the back here, I did the same thing back here. These were burnt out as well. I got blacked out ones, so like when the lights are off you can't really see them. I like the look of them. They're a lot brighter. Then my other issue with the light is this lens is cracked right here, so it lets water get in. But that's not really that big of a deal. That's just kind of nitpicking stuff, which I can get a taillight for 100 bucks on Amazon, so not too bad. Other than that, outside of the truck is pretty good. I got a little rust bubble starting on the cab corner there, but it's still early enough to where I could probably get it fixed easily. Then I got a little paint chip right here, which I mean doesn't bother me too much. It's a truck, I expected it. It's used, it's not like it's brand new. It's 2012, so I think it would be 12 years old now, I believe. But it's a beautiful truck on the outside. Let me show you guys the engine compartment. So the first gen Raptors either came with a 5.4 Triton in it or a 6.2 liter in it. This truck here has the 6.2. I'll pop this open for you. I'm thinking about color matching this grill, but I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Try and get this hood popped real quick. And here is the engine. So there isn't that much to really see. Just a 6.2 badge there. Powered by Ford on the valve covers, and that's really about it. This truck is literally bone stock except the wheels on it, which I have the stock wheels. I just have to pick them up from the previous owner still. I haven't had time, but yeah, I mean it's a pretty big motor in there. I got an AC line leaking, the high pressure side, which is far down there, kind of hard to see it. But that's the only issue I really have with the engine, or I guess engine compartment to say. The engine itself is fine. This thing has 139,000 miles on it. I have put 2,000 miles on it so far in a month. I've drove it a lot. It's really nice to drive. When the AC is charged, it blows super cold. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have much issues. I did have one major issue with it though, which I'll get into real quick. So it's not a really major issue, but these trucks have a vacuum actuated front hub system on them for the front four-wheel drive to lock in. And I didn't realize this until after I started looking up stuff. Whenever I'd accelerate on the highway or something, it'd make a terrible grinding noise. It sounded like a pulley or something like that. So I replaced the idler pulleys, didn't change it. Replaced the tensioner, didn't change it. And I was about 200 bucks deep into it already, so I was trying to figure out what was going on. Started looking up some stuff, and I saw some forums People saying the vacuum hubs. So to tell if it is your hubs, all you have to do is lock it in 4-wheel drive, drive it down, and see if it makes the grinding noise, which in my case is stopped once I put it in 4-wheel drive. So today I pulled it in the shop and I put a smoke tester on the vacuum line, see if I had a vacuum leak. And I did have a vacuum leak. I'll show you exactly where I had the vacuum leak. So if you look up in here, this is the vacuum line right here. And right where my finger's at, I had a vacuum leak right there. And it was leaking pretty good. So I didn't have time to put new lines on it today or buy any new lines. So what I did was I took a little bit of Gorilla Glue. I kind of jerry-rigged it a little bit. I got a little Gorilla Glue, put it all around where it was leaking at, and it stopped the leak for right now. I'm going to be buying some new lines here soon, so I'm just doing this just to get the grinding sound gone for right now. But that fixed all of my grinding issues. My hubs are still good, and the diaphragms are still good, thankfully. It's been grinding for a while now since I've had it, but I just got time to look at it, and everything's still good, thankfully. So if I replace some vacuum lines, I should be good. But just in case you guys are looking into getting one of these trucks, this applies to any F-150 from like 2000 up, I believe. But so if you're hearing a grinding noise when you're accelerating down the highway, it is your vacuum actuated hubs. So if it starts making the noise, get to a shop ASAP and take a look at it. So we'll head on to the inside here. And this cab is extremely spacious. There's a lot of back seat area, front seat area. Okay, don't mind the mess, as this is my daily. I use it every day. But there's a lot of room in this cab, as you guys can see. And what's really, really nice is these seats fold up. I got all my ratchet straps for when we go racing in here. And there's a sub over there, which is factory. But these seats come all the way up, and there's a hydraulic like shock in them that lets it down easy. But it's really, really nice. Back here, we have a plug-in for like a regular home plug, and then just a cigarette lighter like plug there. I mean, it's all just basic stuff here. Move into here, your light switch. Right now it's on the parking lights for the Raptor lights. It's got some really bright lights in it, which I love. Don't mind the interior, it's a little dusty, but other than that, it's super nice in these. These have the red stripe, which I need mine to be redone here soon. It's starting to get worn down. But yeah, I mean, these don't come factory. This is just for your phone mounts. These were already in here. So if you look right here, we have switch panels that come with these Raptors. If you had like fog lights or lights in general, have that. Right here, we have an off-road mode. So you click that, it'll put it in off-road mode. You have your 2-wheel drive, 4 high, 4 low, your lockers, everything right here. Let me grab the keys and I will run you guys through the menu on the dash. So there's the opening screen of it. I have had the Ford recall done on this. I just got done, I think, last week. But I'm averaging 14.1 miles per gallon, which is on the high side for one of these trucks. The check engine light, I have a check engine light for a thermostat right now, but that's not really a big deal. We'll come over here. So in the gauge mode, all we have is the trans temp, and that's it. I wish we had like a speedometer on this truck, but like for the like your real speed on the dash, trip, fuel economy, the truck apps, which that'll tell you all of your off-road stuff, like your locker, if it's on, if it's in 4-wheel drive. Come over here, it'll tell you your angles and whatnot. This does have like a front camera, but it's broke on this truck. But if you put it in 4-wheel drive, I think low, you can turn on a front camera and you can see in front of you. And then it has trailer controls, of course. Settings is simple stuff. This does have the oil life reset in it. Remote start, which is pretty nice. It's just simple stuff. Okay, let's just a driver door jar. And then it'll tell you what your oil life's at, which I need an oil change here soon. Your brakes, trailer brake control, fuel level, simple stuff. I do have one issue with the gauge cluster on this though. So the speedometer is supposed to be at 0 right now, but it's fell down to where it's right there. So when I'm going down the highway, I'm like 15 miles an hour off from like what I'm actually going. So if I'm going, let's say 45 on the dash, I'm actually going 60 miles an hour. So I need to take this cluster apart. I need to reset that needle and then do a sweep test for the needles. It's pretty common. You can find videos on that, which I'll link in the description below if you want to figure that out. But yeah, I mean, other than that, this truck is super nice on the inside. It does have sync, and there's Bluetooth on these. Like I said, there's Bluetooth on these, DVDs and whatever it is. But here's your trailer brake controller. And yeah, I mean, these trucks are really nice. I will show a couple pictures of me towing with it. I've towed a 79 Camaro, which is roughly 3,600 pounds. And then a street stock, dirt street stock, which is 3,000 pounds, which I'll throw pictures of that here now. I'm hauling this trailer with this, and it honestly hauls it like there's nothing behind it. I'm surprised how well this truck hauls with the suspension that it has. I'm really happy with it. If you get your trailer brake adjusted right, you'll be set. So if you're wanting to haul with this thing, use it as a work truck, it's perfect. But yeah, in conclusion, I'm giving this thing a 10 out of 10. I love this truck so much. It's probably one of my best purchases I've made yet. It's a Ford, but I'm loving it so far. Like I said, there's always gonna be issues when you're buying a used truck. It's just fixing it, and then once you fix it, you should be good as long as you take really good care of these things. These things should last you a lifetime. There is one other thing I need to do to it, and that is rebuild the shocks on it, which isn't a big deal. But for right now, they're fine. But I mean, if you're looking for a truck and you can find one of these things for decently cheap, I'd say go ahead and get it, because all these things is going to go up in value if they're in good shape still. It's a Raptor, so I mean, that's pretty special as it is, but if you take good care of it, you should be fine. But yeah, I mean, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, give me a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I'd appreciate it a lot. But thanks for watching, guys, and go buy a Raptor.